What's up, KC? My name is Michael Johnson. I'm the state representative of the 23rd District. I have my special guest tonight, who will also become my co-host, who is the co-host, is Mr. Bennie Lewis. Mr. Bennie Lewis, how you doing tonight?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I thank you and I appreciate you giving me this opportunity with Cascade Media Group.
Man, you know, we're going to do a lot of good things, but we're going to keep it 100. You know, we're not going to play with them. And this is
I don't know no other way. We don't know no other way.
That's right. They don't understand how far back we go. You know, first off the bat, I let people know that I've been knowing Mr. Bennie Lewis since kindergarten. So that's how far back we go. So it's not a game. We're not here to play with anyone, and we want to keep it as real as possible, but we're going to keep it tactful at the same time, but we will keep it real.
Absolutely.
Once again, most definitely. And this is not a political show. This has nothing to do with anything about politics or legislation at all. This is about community activism. This is about empowering our people. This is about our youth. And this is about us taking us back.
Absolutely.
Most definitely. So how you doing this evening again?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I've been looking forward to building with you, brother, man. And once again, you know, I'm gonna thank you one more time for this opportunity. And basically, I love Kansas City. Been here, I could be living anywhere in America, LA, Atlanta, New York, but I'm from Kansas City. I love Kansas City, you know.
Yes, sir.
And I'm not running away from Kansas City, but I would like to see Kansas City uplift and upgrade.
Personally, how do you think we can do that?
Man, first and foremost, we both know the history of the envy and jealousy of just the crab in the barrel mentality of just
Right.
the Kansas City residents. I mean, it's hard to break that cycle, man.
Correct.
You know.
So if we can take our youth back, do you think it would start with us making sure that our youth are aware of our generational lineage, our ancestral lineage, where we come from, who we are? You think it could be like a process where we are able to deprogram in order to reprogram our children so that we can further making sure that they flourish in life by knowing the true substance of who they are?
Well, first and foremost, I'd just like to point out that the youth out here, the misguided youth out here, are our children, literally. My children, your children, the children of our friends and colleagues. Those are the ones out here dying in the streets of Kansas City at this moment. So
Correct.
The failure's on us. Somewhere we dropped the ball.
Okay.
You know, somewhere we didn't educate, bless, uplift, give these guys the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to not be where they are today. So in order to try to, I'm not going to say stop the cycle or break the cycle, but maybe slow it down.
Correct.
You know, that's why I'm here today, is just to share some wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you know.
Right. Because, you know, we're going to ask some tough questions, me as the host and you as the co-host moving forward. So when we have these different entities on here who will be from local, national, international, we'll make sure that we have them on the show, and we want to make sure that we're asking those tough questions the same way that we're presenting them to ourselves here today. So I'd like to take time to thank Mr. Carlos Nelson for giving us this opportunity with Cascade Media Group as well.
Absolutely.
So that we can
yes,
have
sir.
this platform to talk about these things that need to be talked about, and everybody is not willing to have these conversations.
No, they're not, man. No, they're not. If they are trying to have these conversations, and you know, like you said, we're gonna just put it all on the table, they're self-serving.
Correct.
You know, we're doing this because we love Kansas City.
Exactly. So next question is, how do you feel about our situation that we have here in Kansas City with our KCPD? Just your honest personal opinion.
I mean, straight up, I've dealt with Kansas City PD on many levels, from running from them, you know what I'm saying, having to bond out from situations where, you know, they've caught me up into and in other situations where, you know, I was out of pocket and they made sure I made it home safe.
Correct.
You know,
Okay. So
it's all about
there's a
leadership.
balance there.
Yeah, I do have a balance. You know, I'm not going to just bash him, but at the same time, under the current leadership with Captain Rick Smith, I mean, this man's attitude is back to blue no matter what. And
Okay.
you can't think like that, you know, and that's why I was happy to see the officer, I can't think of his name, but first Kansas City police officer to get convicted for killing a Black person.
Correct. Yes, sir.
In the 140 plus year history of Kansas City, Missouri. I mean, that's a step in the right direction. It won't make amends for all of the distrust, mistrust, and dirty deeds of the Kansas City Police Department. But at the same time, you know, it shows that things can change.
Correct.
You know.
Correct. Good. Let me with this next question, it deals with something that we are actually using as a platform right now. How important is it for us to get this media platform out there with Cascade Media and what it's doing and giving us an opportunity to reach millions of people across the nation and even internationally?
Well, Cascade Media, just on a level from the sports, you know, covering local high school sports, from the What's Up Kansas City interviews, from the opportunities that Cascade Media covers different aspects of the city, specifically the urban parts of Kansas City that normally get negative light. Cascade Media is putting a positive light on things that normally that the PWI community, you know, the community of the I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, the colonizers, you know, will overlook, you know, because if it doesn't fit their narrative of a negative, you know, story, you know, they're not going to show it. But there's a lot of positive things, a lot of positive people that Cascade Media puts the spotlight on that you would never otherwise know or see if Cascade Media wasn't doing what it's doing.
I appreciate that. So we both know that it's needed, and that it's an opportunity for us to showcase what we do, our history, where we've been, and where we're headed.
Yeah.
And once again, Ben, you know how I feel about you, brother, man. You know it ain't nothing but love. So I appreciate that, man. And I want everyone to know that we 100 and we solid, not salad.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, me and you, we go back to here's a phrase people might not be familiar with or forgot: latchkey kids. We're from the generation where our mamas had to go out and work, and they tied the key to the house on a shoestring and put it around our necks.
That's right.
And my key was under the mat as you came into the house.
Okay.
Welcome mat.
See, it was still trust in the community back then. See,
That's
by the time that me and Mike came up, that trust was eroding. So you couldn't put the key under the mat. You had to make sure you tie that key around your kid's neck, and you told your kid, once you get home, don't answer that door and don't let nobody in my house.
That's right.
Hey, Bennie, my grandmother, I grew up in New York. Her door was always open. She 534 East West 152nd Street between
what borough?
and Amsterdam.
What's that? Brooklyn?
No, that's Manhattan. That's Harlem. Right there. Sugar Hill and all of that's in that area. But the door was always open. I didn't realize that until after I got out of high school. That's when things changed in '69. And I go to my grandmother's house, had to knock on the door.
Right.
Yeah, that's the Frank Lucas era. You know,
exactly.
yeah, things changed because Frank Lucas and what's my man?
Nicky Barnes.
Nicky Barnes, you know. I mean, things changed in the neighborhood, you know. It wasn't that safe. You had to put it under, you know, the mat. But in our era, you know, me and Mike, we're talking about the early 80s, you know, it changed from Frank Lucas to Freeway Ricky Ross, you know, and the people that you couldn't trust was a little more bold. So just to make sure your kid made it home safe. And again, I want to reiterate, our moms had to go to work, you know.
Right.
Our dads were already working.
That's right.
But our moms had to work too. So they had to tie that key around our neck. And that was our first, you know, necklace. Shoestring with a key.
So it was a time, at that point in time, it was a time where some of those police, see, what we don't have is this. Back then, we had, to a certain extent, we had community policing. Okay?
Yep.
We had police
name.
cars, Royals cars, they'll come up to us and they were able to say, take your little butt, take your ass home.
Remember Officer Friendly? Mike,
yeah. Officer
Friendly.
Officer Friendly. So
come into your kindergarten class with coloring books and Chiefs cards.
Before this was before the DARE programs.
Right. Okay. Well, in New York is where PAL started.
Okay.
And with sports and all of that. They used to walk beats in New York in the 60s. And
exactly.
Hey, mom would be on you. And don't let him tell you, see mom coming home and say, you know, Carlos was out here doing this or doing that. It wasn't about locking me up.
So, Mr. Nelson.
Getting my butt whipped.
So, isn't it important? Let me ask both of you gentlemen this.
All right.
Is it important that coming out of the academy, police academy, that the cadets do community service to learn the community that they'll be policing? If you come from so many different areas demographically and you are not from Kansas City, how can you police somewhere you are not from if you don't spend time finding out where you at and who you with?
Yeah, you nailed that one, Mike. Hey, man, because really, it's priceless. You can't put a price tag on having a vested interest in the community in which you walk and patrol every day. You know, how can you care about somebody that got shot, stabbed, murdered on 27th in Brooklyn if you live on North Myrtle? You know what I'm saying? You got to have a vested interest in the community.
If you live in Overland Park, Lee Summit, or you don't even live in the, and what, from my perspective, Cascade Media's about enlightening our community to make better decisions on who they vote for. This is not a political show or anything, but but understanding
we're gonna tell the truth.
Right. What's actually happening in your community, and not just what's happening, why it's happening, and here are some solutions. Now, whether you agree with the solutions or not, I would ask anyone that's watching this program, when your show locates a problem, discuss the problem, and then say, these are what our solutions are to the problem. If somebody else has some solutions, let's work on them. But everyone is discussing the problem, but no one is trying to listen to people that have solutions to say, let's not discuss this no more. This is how we can handle it.
Well, that's when you have the people that don't want it fixed, because for some type of reason, they're benefiting from it. So it's important for us to have this media platform to speak the truth, to know facts, and represent ourselves correctly so that we can move forward and get things done, resolve situations. It's important that we ask the most intelligent questions when we have this platform on the show, to make sure that if the people don't have the answer, then we can come with the facts and control the narrative and give them the answer.
The main other thing I would like to say for anyone that's looking at this interview right now is, it's not just for you to see this, you need to share it.
Correct.
Because
yes, sir.
Main purpose.
When I came up and when Bennie came up, we came up as young men right up under the real civil rights movement.
You talking about me?
Yes.
No,
I'm saying,
no, I mean,
50 years ago, 50
I
years
know
ago.
where my age, but I didn't come up in the civil rights era.
When I say that, listen,
I came up in the Ronald Reagan era, you know what I'm saying?
But that
my parents are from the civil rights era.
All of that. When did voting rights get passed?
64.
Right. I'm saying to get that done, you were standing.
I wasn't born in 64.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying the civil rights era. I'm not trying to split hairs. What I am saying is that right now we're standing on the shoulders of giants. We talk that stuff, but when it comes to emulating what their actions were, if I'm not riding the bus, my whole community's not riding the bus. So that
Carlos, Carlos, excuse me, I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I would just like to interject that the current climate, and I'm gonna get political with this one, the current political climate in the United States of America is eroding the giants whose shoulders we used to stand on's actions and their accomplishments.
That's the point I'm trying to point out. Having a program like this, you can remind the leadership across the board, whether it's political, sports, or whatever. There were great giants like John Carlos that really started the Black movement to a degree, raising his fists up, getting national attention. We are a media company. Everything that we see is based on media, what you see on that tube and what you read in that newspaper.
Yeah.
And so when the civil rights movement was at its peak, all Black newspapers in this country that delivered to the Black community kept us informed on the direction of the NAACP, SCLC, and any other organization that was moving forward with a Black agenda that was going to change the political structure and the nature of how African Americans and people of color would be treated in these United States. And we have political power
to
make that happen.
It's important that we get with the people that understand that and that are accepting of that message and deal with those that are like-minded in order to get something done. We spend too much time witnessing to those that do not get it, trying to explain ourselves and have them become a part of our team. We don't want you on the team if you don't get it, because it's something that you should have gotten by now.
And I like to just add to what Mike said. I mean, it's 2021, and the audience that we're targeting don't know who John Carlos is. You know, the newspaper industry is on life support. When people want information, they go straight to their phone. You know, I mean, I'm gonna go to a specific case that's relevant to today, Trayvon Martin. If Trayvon Martin's case wouldn't have got the national media to pick up on it if it wasn't for Black radio. Black radio, Tom Joyner, Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, all these people, the Breakfast Club. If it wasn't for Black radio, Trayvon Martin would have just been another Emmett Till. So the Black media, the newspapers back in the day in the civil rights area, yeah, they were relevant. But in 2021, you have social media, the Black radio, and radio's dying too, you know, but it's not dying. It's not on life support like print media, but you have digital media like Cascade Media Group. That's why this is important that we have these conversations that we're having today.
Yes, sir. So I appreciate that we all realize how important this is.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna use this and propel this opportunity forward, upward. We're gonna retool this system with the opportunity that we have to make sure that we have an outlet to reach our people.
Yes,
and
sir.
especially, like you said, Ben, the youth don't know who certain people are. So what we can do is not only give them an opportunity to know history, but to know now. And what I mean by that is to deal with the situations that we are facing today and show them that things haven't changed, and show them the compatibility of how it was the same then. We're still facing those same issues every single day right now in 2021, about to be 2022.
Hey, Mike, man, I really appreciate that you inviting me on. I really look forward to building more with you and Cascade Media Group. I have a very diverse background, and you might not know this as well as we know each other, but I have I'm a horticulturist, certified, you know, and today what we're doing, we're planting a seed.
Exactly.
We're planting a seed.
Yes,
you know, if you know about horticulture, you know that you have to take times and make plant seeds and watch them grow, be it fruits, vegetables, plants, flowers, you know. And today we're planting a seed.
That's right.
Know, that was a trade I got. A lot of my friends were getting trades in auto mechanics and electrician and, you know, welding, and I went and got me a trade in horticulture.
I love it. I love
All my partners was called me Mr. Green Thumb.
That's right. Yes, sir.
And Mr. Green Thumb, hey, trust me, me and you both know, Mr. Green Thumb, I earned that.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. Most definitely. 100.
But 100. Today we're planting a seed.
I love it. I love it. And you know, and when you plant those seeds and you make sure that you take care of them like a baby, you know, and you water them and you give them light, and light being knowledge, you know, and you give them opportunities, then we can flourish, they can grow.
Yes, sir.
We can plant those seeds, and those seeds can continue to grow when the likes of us are not here anymore.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. Thank you, man. This has been a great building session.
It most definitely has. This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. We're gonna touch on things that people have no idea. It's not gonna be a boring show. And it's gonna be full of action. It's gonna be full of great narrative. It's gonna be full of what's needed for us to have great minds around us to find out what we need to do to resolve the situations that we are facing here in Kansas City today.
Hey, Cascade Media Group is the fertile soil that we're about to grow from.
That's right. I appreciate both of you gentlemen.
I appreciate you, man.
Most definitely.
Thank you, Carlos.
Mr. Carlos Nelson, we thank you, brother.
Well, as we always say in closing, when you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself. Good night.
Absolutely.
Most definitely. Good night, gentlemen.
Have a good night.
The program is brought to you by the Kansas City Business Association.